Hiya, I'm Sonya Roseman, and this is the next part of my life story that I've been doing, my little videos for YouTube. Okay, right, so acting. When I was 8 or 9 years old and we lived in All Hallows, I was given the part of Cinderella in the school play, and I absolutely loved that, and it was so amazing. And we still have the picture somewhere, I think. And that was kind of what started me off. Then we moved to Wales, and I became part of a stilt company, stilt group, and that was called Wotan Stilt Club. So we did loads and loads of shows all over North Wales. I think we might have gone to South Wales a couple of times. We would do that every single weekend, and I was so tiny. I mean, I'm not very tall now. I'm only 5'1" now, but everybody thought I was really, really cute because I was so tiny in these little stilts, and I could do cartwheels and stuff like that, and you know, I was just really flexible on them. And yeah, we used to do these mystery plays all over Wales, and that led to the Chester Mystery Plays. And I believe we had some famous actor working with us who I didn't know who it was. Some guy that was on the TV. Yeah, so I auditioned for a talking part in that, and it kind of went from there. I just thought, God, I really love doing this. It's amazing. And also, because we were living in Wales, it got me out of the area that I was in where I was getting bullied. So it was very, very lucky for me, really. So that was that. I did that all the time that I was there. And then we moved back to Kent again. But we went to Derbyshire first to live with my auntie and uncle because we didn't have anywhere to go. Yeah, so we came back here, and you know, I always wanted to go into acting, and I just always loved movies and movie stars, and especially the old actors from, you know, like the 50s and the 60s. So this, it started my love of vintage and Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield and all of those old stars that were just so wonderful and put together, and just so classy and lovely. And so that's why I dress the way that I do now. I prefer how the old kind of clothes like will cling to you and make you look nice. I don't really like from myself the way that the modern dress would be, but it looks okay for everybody else, but not everybody suits it, I think. So I prefer the hourglass and all of that, you know, the whole and it just looks so classy and nice and sexy, really, in a beautiful sort of way. You know, I just love the way that my nan would have dressed when she was younger, and I love the 1960s styles that I saw my mum in the pictures when she was a teenager and whatever. Just, I love all of that. So I like the 50s and the 60s. I'm going off board now on something else to with all my love for vintage that I love so much. Lots of love. Yeah, and yeah, so we come back here, and eventually I went to Mid-Kent College and I did performing arts, and it was the only time, one of the very few times in my life, that I actually feel like you know, when you feel that you're really, really fit in somewhere and you found your niche and you found your people and all that kind of thing. Well, that's what I felt like when I was there. So I did a 1-year course, and then I went back for the HND, and that was really cool. And I met these fantastic people there, and they were so enthusiastic, and everybody was like famous to me. Everyone all together. And if you can imagine what fame was like when it was first shown on TV, you go and do a performing arts course and you're young and you're like, you know, in between like 18 to 22, whatever age really, it is so fantastic. And when you do shows, stage shows, all of you become very, very close, and you get these friendships that I've had now for quite some time, and it is all really fantastic, great times of my life, definitely. And at that time I didn't seem to need to have like a boyfriend or anything like that. I was just so into whatever we were doing, and from that I learnt Stanislavski, masks, and also oh crikey, what is that? I used to do it every day. The warm-up exercises that you do for acting and all of that. Crikey, what was it? No, not Stanislavski, it was someone else. Can't remember. They used it anyway at the Actors Studio in New York in America, and we were trained to method act. So that's where you delve into your feelings, and you get it from something that's happened to you or something like that. Great times, and I'd still speak to a lot of my friends from back then. Like I didn't talk to them for a long time because you didn't have Facebook and things like that back then. But now I talk to some of them, and it's just so great. And looking back at that time was what really helped and shaped me. So after that, I got a part in a film called The Dealer, and it was a part with a gangster, Dave Courtney, and John Thompson from Cold Feet, and Dave Legino, who went on to be in Harry Potter and lots of other films, and Patrick Murray out of Fools and Horses. So I couldn't believe that was my first film, and I was the lead in that. And it wasn't obviously just not like a one-liner or in the background. I couldn't actually believe that I got that part, but I got it because Samantha Janus, who went in to be in EastEnders, she turned it down. So I'm really glad that she did that. So that was my first film, and that was just a short, and we filmed it in and around Rochester, and on the river, and Craig Charles was in it from Red Dwarf. And all these people were absolutely fantastic. And I remember the first day of filming, I went to set, and I was obviously really, really nervous. And I'll never forget that John Thompson, the guy from Cold Feet, he said to me, "Don't worry," he said, "don't worry about it at all." He said, "Just remember that we're all the same, we all feel the same things, no matter what." And I said, I am so starstruck by everybody, because I'm like no one, I'm nobody. And he went, no, he said, "You're fitting great." And he was really helpful to me with the script and all of that. It was absolutely fantastic. That was what started the acting off with me. That was my first film. And then after that, I went on to make a few more films, a bit of TV work, and now I make my own films. So yeah, part 2 coming soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Thank you.